Hello and welcome to Just Spencin Around. I'm Justin Lugo.
I'm Spencer Clary.
And let's just jump into it.
I'm ready.
I have some questions for you, Spencer.
Oh. I don't know. I shouldn't act surprised. I know that's happening. So.
Some questions only a real trivia boy, entertainment man would know.
Okay, that's my exact job description, so perfect. Let's go.
What animated movie did Martin Scorsese help make?
Are these real questions?
Yes.
I want to say Shark Tale so bad.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
Okay.
He helped with all the Goodfellas parodies in
Wow. I mean, masterful job, Martin Scorsese. That is cinema.
You're 1 for 1. Good job.
Great.
Which one of these franchises is not in Space Jam 2? Rick and Morty, Smallfoot, Tom and Jerry.
Oh, wow. Okay. I know for a fact that Rick and Morty and Smallfoot are in it, because I have, in fact, seen Space Jam 2. So that means Tom and Jerry are not in it.
Wow, 2 for 2.
Yes.
All right.
Hold on. If I do win this, do I get an award for being the most entertainment man?
Sure.
Cool.
That's on the table now, I suppose. In the hit movie Garfield 2, A Tale of Two Kitties, who voices Garfield's doppelganger?
Oh man, this is the Garfield that's voiced by Bill Murray, right?
Yeah. But who plays the version when they switch places?
Okay, I guess that's the plot. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. God, it would have to be some other comedy legend, right? Like someone. I have no idea. I'm just gonna say Bill Murray doing a slightly different voice. Is it Bill Murray doing a slightly different voice?
It's Tim Curry.
Of course.
All right. What comic book character did Michael Jackson want to play?
Spider-Man.
All right.
Yes.
What is Michael Myers' mask originally made from?
It's a Captain Kirk mask painted white.
Yep.
Yes.
What is Luigi's last name?
Mario.
Yep. How did Cruella's mom die? Final question.
Now you're lowballing. You know I know this. She was murdered by Dalmatians when they pushed her off a high balcony into the ocean.
All right. That's
why Cruella is so evil. That's the reason.
You actually got more right than I thought you would.
What? I mean, can I be crowned ultimate entertainment man, or did that Tim Curry one throw me off?
I didn't think you were going to get the Shark Tale one.
Well, that's the only animated movie that's even slightly related to
or the Space Jam 2 one, because I feel like Tom and Jerry.
I was actually surprised, because when you said Tom and Jerry, it made me realize that they weren't in it. But I totally would have thought they were. If you had added a fourth choice, I think I would have probably remember that fourth.
I didn't think you'd remember that Smallfoot was in it.
Yeah, I remember that Smallfoot was in it. Don't belittle me.
I'd say the Tim Curry one was the penultimate question, so okay. I don't think you get it.
You know what? If I didn't have another segment, I would walk out of this room right now. Our second segment today will be about the movie Venom. If you don't remember what Venom is, good for you. It came out 2 or 3 years ago. Its sequel is coming out this week, so that's why I decided to talk about it. I went back, I rewatched it, wrote down some notes. You did not.
No. What's the interesting thing about the Venom movie?
Are you asking me that?
Yeah, I'm asking.
Nothing. I mean, I'm not arguing that's an interesting movie.
No.
I've watched it.
I mean, what is the movie Venom about?
Oh, okay. You want me to break down the movie Venom? Before I break down the movie Venom, I want you to tell me what you remember from the movie Venom.
All right. I remember Tom Hardy as Venom. He plays both Eddie Brock and the symbiote. Mm-hmm. The girl from Parks and Recreation plays a serious role, and it's really weird. I remember the villain. I
just call her Jenny Slate throughout the entire thing.
I remember the villain. No, I don't.
No?
He becomes Riot at the end, though.
Okay, I was actually going to ask you if you remembered the name of the symbiote.
And I only know that because of the comics and not because of the movie.
I think they maybe mentioned it once. It's so thrown in there.
And I think Venom dies, but then doesn't really die.
Yeah.
And Tom Hardy goes into a lobster tank at a scene.
Yes.
And that was improvised.
I mean, the man's a legend. I think we can all say.
All right.
Anything else you remember about that?
Tell me what you remember about Venom.
All right. I remembered very little because I barely paid attention the first time I watched it. Then on the rewatch, I noticed some things. And so I just want to go through. I wrote a lot of notes, but I can't fit them all in because there's way too many notes to talk about. So I'm just going to try and cut it down to the more interesting stuff. A weird thing. So, you know, in movies, you usually like to cut to the title card at like a good moment.
Yes.
Like you want to cut to it at like a cool moment.
Like maybe when he gets the symbiote.
Maybe when he gets the symbiote. Maybe if there's like something. Like obviously, we'll talk about when he gets the symbiote because it's way later than you think. But the title card comes up after what we don't find out is Riot until way later in the movie. But Riot infects this medical lady that is trying to help this patient out. Mm-hmm. It infects her. Title card Venom.
But that's not Venom.
Yes. I, as a person who loves comic books, knows that Venom is a black goo and that Riot is a gray goo.
Sometimes green.
Sometimes green. But in the context of the movie, I know that at least Venom isn't gray goo.
Right.
So I know, that's not Venom. But the general audience, I can only assume they would immediately have to assume that is Venom.
Yeah.
Which makes it even more hilarious that we don't get introduced to Venom until an hour into this Venom movie. So Eddie Brock, he's a reporter, which you know because he puts up his highlight reel of reporter stuff, half of which is him just riding motorcycles, just half of it is just recordings of him riding down the streets of San Francisco on a motorcycle. He gets fired before the events of this movie, which we can only assume has to do with him being, as he's called in this, one of the greatest investigative journalists of our times.
Why would that get him fired, though?
Because he's asking too many of the good questions, Justin. They can't let you ask too many of the good questions. The people are too powerful for you to be asking them questions. They'll get you fired and transferred to San Francisco, which happens again later in this movie. Carlton Drake.
So he sounds like a pretty good guy.
He's experimenting on homeless people by just putting them in a room with these symbiotes, which then kill them if they're not a perfect match. But
so you have to be a perfect match with your symbiote.
Perfect match with your symbiote.
Is there a reason Eddie Brock and Venom are perfect matches?
Venom explains that they're both losers. Which is why you and I are such good friends. Because anyone knows that if you put two losers in a room, they're going to have fun.
Are you having fun?
So my next note that I have is there's a lot of odd ADR lines in this, like where they go back in and record after the fact, where you'll notice this movie has some impressive long takes, but they're all when characters' backs are turned to the camera so that they can dub in lines later. They hold those shots for so long so they can get all their exposition out. Anyway, so from there we get Venom, who is a goo monster, versus Riot, who's another goo monster, and
which goo monster wins?
You'll be surprised. It's the one with his name in the title. Venom comes out on top. You like you said earlier, you think he died. He almost dies.
Is there like any reason why they fake his death?
It's a bad movie, Justin. I've seen a lot of bad superhero movies and bad movies in general, and it could be worse. And then my last thing, of course, the Venom rap by Eminem is a masterpiece. So I think we can all agree on that one. That's all I have to say about the Venom movie.
That has been our show. I'm Justin Lugo.
And I'm Spencer Clary.
And this is Just Spencin' Around.